video on here, right?
You can turn your video on if you want. We can go on video if you prefer. It's
Oh,
either
okay.
way is fine.
Yes. No, this is more like it. Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Ah,
The mood just changed right now.
I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. So I'm so excited to chat with you. I know you are a rock star and I've been obsessed with you since I first met you. And just kind of like watching your journey and trusting, I guess, my own intuition and reaching out. And I just like I don't usually reach out like that, but I also trust myself when I do. So no pressure on anything today. Just I'd love to know more about like what you have going on. What are your goals? What are your wins right now? What are you struggling with? Just let me know what is going on in the world of Zoraida.
So I think that definitely like the universe has a way of putting the people that you need in your path, because like these connections like with Shell, Carrie, and you. I mean, they were just completely like just by accident, just by me like googling somebody to help with my writing and helping me like find my voice, because I felt like I was always saying like the same thing over and over and over, and then like from there it just kind of dominoed into like knowing some more amazing women, but I think that I still have like, even though I want to be the example of empowerment, the example of somebody that's strong, that I'm still like way like deep inside my head like uh you're like, and oh my god, like people always say this, like when they cry they buy, but I cry for I'm always like I cry for everything. But anyways, so I
Me
was
too.
like,
I always just say, I'm always like, don't mind my leaking face. It's fine. Uh-oh, did you mute yourself? Your audio just went out. Did you
Can
get
you hear me?
disconnected? Yes,
Am I
now I
here?
can hear you.
Okay. So
Yep, you're here.
I was so like in trying to prepare for our call, I was like trying to dig deep inside myself, like what is it that Bethany can help me with? Like what can I benefit from? Like where is my weakest point? And I think that I still suffer like with that imposter syndrome. Like I still suffer because I see it come out at work the most. I see it come out in like various different ways. Like for example, at our morning meetings when now that it's like digital, I really don't know like who's all in the call. But then when I realize who's all in the call, I'll like choke or I'll stumble in my words, because in my head it's like, oh my God, you're surrounded by all these really smart people. They're gonna judge you. Did you say the correct thing? Did you did you correct? Like is that what they wanted to hear? Are they questioning how smart you are? Like and then even and I just see it come on like just in various different ways at work, where I am very intimidated by people that are at higher levels than me, or even just around my peers. And I don't know why that is, even though I tell myself like, hey, they put on their socks this morning just like you did. Like they were in your position last year, now they're just one level higher. Or like, I've been doing what I'm doing 10 years, and there's a reason why they ask me to do jobs. Or like they'll be like, if you want something done, give it to Zoraida. Or I lead various teams, and it's like they put you in those positions. Like the thing is that other people see things in me that I don't see in myself. And so I feel that that is like one reason why I am kind of like stagnant, because I feel that I'm just not that I might not be qualified for the next level, even though I am 100% qualified to move up or do something else, right? But so I get stuck in that a lot. And then last night I was reading your post, and I took a screenshot, but I loved what you said. You said here that also fears that have surfaced and made me question if I'm allowed to be this happy, or even if my happiness is just an illusion about to crumble at any moment. Because I'm always living in this fear of like, oh, they're gonna fire me, they're gonna lay me off, oh my god, that presentation just totally freaking sucked, or like, I'm always living in this fear, right? Or even when I like for example, if I do go on vacation or if I do buy something for myself, I feel like super 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 guilty, like even though like I've saved some, like even though like everything else is in order, and I just like feel this guilt, like, oh my god, I'm not gonna post anything because most of my friends could never do this in their life, or like, and it's like, why am I so fucking worried about people? Like, ain't nobody worried about me, you know? And I kind of like realize all this, but I think that I just kind of live my life in a lot of fear, like fear that I'm gonna be laid off. I'm not gonna find a job. Like, what am I gonna do? When it's like, girl, if they laid you off, would probably be the best thing that happened to you. Like, you know, I don't know, but I just need you to help me get out of my head as much as you can. And if there is like a way that you can do that.
Hi, baby.
Mira, ven, es mi amiguita. My friend, look. Oh, she has a baby too.
Hola. Sí, mi niño, 2 años.
Ándale, vete para allá, go bye.
So what I'm hearing is fear. Yep. Okay. And know what? Not me or anyone else can ever make fear go away. But that is actually one of my specialties, is around helping people learn to walk with their fear. And that's why I try to be vulnerable. So I love that that actually stood out to you in my post, because I have fears all the time and they change every level we go up. The fear doesn't ever go away, but what is possible and available to all of us is to learn and embrace. And it's a way of being. It's not like follow this. I mean, there is a structure to how I teach it. And it is a very like, okay, like that would almost be something where like the weekly check-ins or every 2 weeks, it's like, or even having like, it's something where like a lot, if my clients have Voxer access to me, which is like a walkie-talkie app, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but they can like send a message and I don't get back like, well, sometimes I get back in 5 seconds, but sometimes it's a day or two before I get back. But it's like you get to put that moment right in the moment and just be like, okay, I'm freaking out. I'm driving to work or I'm driving home from work and my self-talk is going down a rabbit hole. And like you get to share that moment and then be coached on how to work through it. And we kind of look at, well, when the fear comes up, like what happens in your body, you know, like, because your central nervous system, when we live in fear and we don't know how to move with fear, right? Because you can sit on a couch and be afraid of everything in the world happening, right? Like losing your job, like get, like, you know, your friends thinking, you know, they're jealous of you, or, you know, sitting there and like, do I tell people that I'm doing this? Do I follow this dream? Do I not? You can sit there and think about it all day.
Yes,
and at
I'm
the
an
end of the day,
overthinker. I will overthink something to death, like things that haven't happened. Like, but in my head, I've convinced myself that it's real, and it's like, and even though I know that I like I'll try to snap myself out, and it's like, you know, like how many motivational speakers can I listen to? Like how much freaking positive thinking can I do? Like how many mantras can I say? And it's like I'm doing everything I'm telling other people to do, but yet I'm still like my shit ain't that together as it might seem, you know. But
we're all human, and I love your honesty and vulnerability in showing up, like, because I can't help somebody that isn't willing to share like what the shit is. And I think that that actually shows how much power someone has. And that's where, like, when I talk about energetic intelligence, and like I have a signature process for this, that, you know, like when we implement that, it's teaching you how to unlock your potential and decode your power, because your power expresses itself in a way that is going to be completely unique to you. And that's something I think that, you know, I love that you listen to motivational speakers and that you probably have, like, you're trying to put all good stuff in your head. Um, but at the end of the day, all of that, it's like knowing how to take the pieces from each
Mhm.
motivational thing and say, and this is how I let it change my life, not just make me smarter or not just go
Mhm.
through motions, right? Like of saying a
Yes.
mantra or fine, I sat down and journaled versus how did you feel when you were journaling? And so
Mhm.
by tapping into different areas, like it's absolutely, that is like that is where I specialize. And it's my favorite thing in the world to do. And I think that's something about what called, like, that had my soul calling to reach out to you is I see you. And I'm like, I see you. I guess it's almost like I see where you're going. And I'm almost curious, like, what is going on for her? Because you should be, not you should be flying, but you could if you really wanted to.
Exactly.
And
Yeah. Yes,
it's like, and
like I feel like I've spread my wings, but I'm just still kind of like scared to like.
you're still in the tree.
Yes, 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 yes. Like I finally learned, like I finally realized I had wings and how big they were, and I've like spread them, but it's like
And you're
now
like,
it's
ooh,
like
they're beautiful.
yes, and now it's like
Do they work?
looking down,
If
like
I
I
jump,
look
will they
down,
work?
I got a taste of it, I look down, and it's like, can I really do this? You know, like, so I'm kind of like stuck there, like do like, and what's the worst thing that could happen, that I fall flat in my face? But that's where I'm stuck, like I'm gonna fall flat on my face. Everyone's laugh at me. Like, what was I even thinking? Like, you know, like I don't know. Or I could like soar higher than I could ever think I had soared. I don't, you know. But I'm just like stuck right there. Like, I need you to
So
push
if
me
you
off.
weren't
I need you to
stuck,
count to 3 and set me off.
well, I don't push people off ledges, but I will hold your hand and jump with you.
Okay.
Um, I'm curious if, like, in your head, when you say you're feeling stagnant, and when you're in the midst of that fear, right? Because like I said, we can sit on a couch and be afraid of it all day, or we can be afraid and take action. We're still afraid, but at the end of the day, something has changed and is different, and we actually build our capacity for how we, um, you know, like a baby learning to walk, right? Like they keep
Hmm.
trying, they do fall sometimes, but it's, they're learning how to crawl. They don't just, or they're learning how to walk. They don't just say, oh, I fell, I'm never, I guess I'll just crawl the rest of my life.
Hmm.
But as grown-ups, for some reason, sometimes we do stay crawling in certain areas of our life until we say, you know, fuck it, I'm gonna learn how to walk.
Hmm.
And I don't want to fall and hurt myself. So I'm gonna get some support around me while I try this. And I might
Hmm.
fall, but I
Hmm.
know I'm alone. Like, I'm not alone. Like,
Hmm.
I can give myself permission. And especially, like, you know, again, like, I tell it to you straight. Like, I call people out, but with so much love, where it's like, you
Hmm.
said you wanted to fly. When are, like, how are we flying? When are we flying? And so, like, I'd love to hear a little more, like, if you, if I could just snap my fingers and you knew, okay, I'm going to be afraid, but not so afraid that I'm going to know exactly what to do to walk with my fear. And if you weren't stagnant anymore, boom, just like that, what would be different in your life?
So I think what would be different would be um, being in a different company, because I've come to realize that at my company where I work, I'm not. I'm fighting. I'm fighting against something that I'm not. That I can't break through. There. I've tried. Like I've literally tried for like the last year to be the best engineer, to over deliver. Like I always have to prove myself. I always have to, but yet I see other people moving up in the company who are who I don't understand why they're there, but you know, uh, and I just feel like and I've done, I feel like I've done everything I could. I've talked to my supervisor, I've talked to the supervisor above. I've literally told them like, what do I need to do um to get to the next level. Let's just go over my goals. What goals do I need to meet? And they'll just come out with some bullshit like, oh, you still need another year and a half in process engineering. Oh, you still need another year of this. You still need and then my supervisor, I'll literally tell them like, this is everything you're gonna go in there and tell them when y'all go and raid us, because you need to fight for me. And hold on, let me just wherever you want to start. Yes. So they're not gonna see me other than like a worker. They're not gonna see me as a lead. They don't see me as a leader. They don't see me as somebody who can I don't know, direct people. So I feel like it's almost like a bad relationship, because if that was my boyfriend who didn't value me, I would have no problem breaking up with him, right? So I kind of started to realize that it's not me, because I produce the work, I do the work, it's them, you know, and I feel, and so I've been trying to look for other jobs. Yes, ma'am. Oh no, I have a phone so I can call in. Ah, okay, good job. Okay, bueno. Okay, yes, just start wherever you want. Yes, the girl that helps me clean is here. But so I've been looking for other jobs, but girl, I have not done job search in like 12 years, and it's like, now I have to have a LinkedIn, I have to have digital connections. Like you just don't like apply for a job like through a website, because you that's not how you do it anymore. You're supposed to be poking people on LinkedIn, sending you, and then I'm just like, it's just a little bit overwhelming. And then on the other side, the overthinker side, it's like, do I really want to go to another company? Like, I love this company. I love the people. I already know the systems. I know how the refinery here works. I know everything. Like, and then I think like, well, do you really want to be a supervisor? The supervisors here, they're on call 24 hours. They have to come in on the weekends. You have kids. You're a mother first, you know, and then I go down this rabbit hole of like, what do I really fucking want, you know? And it's like and then I convince myself like, you have a great job, your position is fine, you already know what to do, like it's stress-free, you leave at 5, like do you, and but then the other side is like, you've been there 10 years and they haven't moved you up. That's embarrassing. Like everyone else is being put up, you know what I mean? It's like all these forget, you know, like, I don't know, am I crazy, am I stupid, do other people think like this? I don't know.
Girl, well, first of all, there is only one Zoraida, and we need to celebrate that. But you're definitely not alone in how you're thinking and feeling. If it's okay, I'd love to show you something that's kind of like a backbone of how I work with people. And so you can kind of get a feel for, because I hear so much of what you're saying. And also, like, I'm not your coach yet officially. So like, yes. I can't go into coaching you yet, but I want to give you like,
okay, so tell me, can you help this? Can you help this? Like, is this
all day long,
we can work
all
with?
day long.
Or am I like too far gone that you need to transfer me to another person? I don't know.
Listen, so can you see?
Yes,
hold on.
circles. You saw circles.
Is it going in and out because of my,
yes,
there you go. You can see it. My digital background gets a little weird sometimes when I try to share this. Okay, hold on. I'm just going to show you we have Jackson's toys all over the pool. So hold on, wait, let me.
Yes, no, it's okay.
Hold on, I'm going to turn my, because more important than our messy pool area is you being able to see what I'm holding up. So hold on. Let's see. How do I turn it off? Okay. It's a jungle over here.
I love it.
Okay, so there's 6 key areas that I have found that basically this is my magic. This is the way I work. Like this is my signature process that is being trademarked, right? I like almost done being trademarked. So excited. But the first one is physical. And so this is what I'm talking about, like your central nervous system, that fight, flight, or freeze response. Like, what do we do with that? There's biohacks for that. There's ways that we can navigate your physical response to actually make you more powerful, so that when that fight, flight, or freeze comes up, that your body is like, oh, like, if you used to panic at level 10 and now we take it down to a 9, 8, we get you down to like a 5 on this normal stuff. And it's like, it's going to take something really big to get me to a 10 now. So this is where my degree in sports medicine plays in. I know the body, I know the systems inside and out. So that's the first one. Then we have the mental piece, right? So and it overlaps. So the mental piece is the mindset. It's actual neural pathways that we have to rewire, because as much as you can listen to a motivational speaker and you feel good when you're listening, and maybe like an hour after, and then it wears off and you need more, because that's all external coming in. We want to activate it internal, so that yes, when other people pour into you, that's great, but that you also are coming from a place of knowing how to turn it on from inside. Now, in between these two, when we bridge this gap between the physical and the mental, this is where we see an increase in our sense of purpose. This is really where it's like that, like knowing of like, how like you can talk, like you don't care what people think, but then you go home and you cry. I do that sometimes, but it's like, now it has to be really big. Like I got called out. I was put in a really compromising position on Clubhouse recently in front of like 2,000 people. And this guy was like, I don't believe you. And I was like, excuse me? Like, I'm not. And he's like, he literally was challenging me on everything. It was so disrespectful, so rude. And then I got off the call, and
your whole cluster had to come together real quick. Yes.
I'm telling you, girl. And then I cried, and I went in and I was like, my whole reputation might be ruined, I think. And I woke up, I had like over 50 Instagram DMs from people I'd never met. And I was like, oh my God, they're all going to be hate messages. I found out there was an entire Facebook group, a private Facebook group, that they were like, oh my God, this girl's lying. We got to get her. Like, I hate people like this. They were trying to tear me apart. And one of my friends is in the group, and she's like, no, she's legit. Like, she is not lying. But she was like, she messaged me. She's like, girl, they are like ripping apart. They are going back on your social media for years. They are going through your website, like line by line. They are researching you. The heck out of. And I'm like, so talk about like when you have fear come up, right? Okay. So this is just like 3 weeks ago, by the way. Literally, I finally opened up my Instagram messages, not a single hate mail. Every single one of them was like, girl, he had no right to talk to you that way. Like, I don't even know you, but the way you handled yourself, whatever this energetic intelligence is, I want to know about it. Because how you just held you seemed way more powerful than him on that stage. Because he kept turning my mic off, like talk about trying to being silent. It was so bad. I guess other people reported him. They were like, are you going to report him? I was like, no, I'm going to let karma handle it. Like, I don't even understand Clubhouse enough. Like, I don't get it. But every single one of those was loving, wonderful messages. And then in the Facebook group, my friend who was part of it, because I was like, I can't, don't even tell me what group it is, because I'll go down that rabbit hole. I'll go try to find it, join it, see what they're saying about me. But I was like, at the end of the day, I have to know I live a life of integrity. I live a life I am so proud of. I don't lie about anything that I can help people with, or what I do, or what my results have been. Anyway, like she was like, well, the tide turned, Bethany. She goes, they're all like, actually, this girl is super legit. We can't find anything she's lied about. They had gone back on like to my very first Facebook post ever. They had like researched like my college. They were like, she really is an alumni. She really does have a degree in sports medicine. She really did take quantum physics. Like, she really is. So she does have I don't know how it's possible, but she really, holy crap. Like, so, but for me to navigate that, like when I'm talking about like the physical, keeping my body from like freaking out during those couple days while this was all resolving, how I was thinking, like someone telling me those things about me, to me, like if I believed zero of it, maybe for like 2 minutes, I was like, am I a liar? Did I? But like,
yes.
it's because, but yes. Anyway.
Yes, and I can so relate to that, because and I know we're not coaching, but it was like what happened that they rate us for the year, and from 1 to 5, and again I got a 3, I got a 3. Even though I had been trying so hard, I'm still an average person to them. So I was like in that same boat that you were, like, do I really suck? Am I really that? I mean, does my work, like, am I just not good enough? You know? But then when I have my list of wins, it's like, I fucking saved that company like over $2 million. I've done this and this and this. So who the heck is cock blocking me here? You know, because it's not me, you know? So, but yes, I can relate to your story because other people's perception of us.
It takes one person.
Yes.
It takes one person to say something. And like this guy he's like $1 billion earner. So I was like in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I'd love your feedback on how I'm growing my business. Like I have a plan, I have this. And he was so disrespectful. But for some reason I was like, oh, did I just give him like credit? His opinion, it does not matter. He's one person in this world. And you know what? Everybody poops. So like you said, everybody puts their socks on one foot at a time. So this is where like when we understand how our body works and then how our mindset works, like, and I can get into very specific hacks and patterns with people there. Like I've spent years, I have so many mindset certifications. That's where that increased purpose. And the next bubble is emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is where, managing our thoughts, feelings. So it's like the mindset leads to a feeling, and it circles all the time. You have a thought like, damn, I look good today. Now you have a feeling based on that thought. You feel good, right? And then you maybe like somebody says something like about your shoes, and now you're like, oh, I don't look good today. And now you have a different kind of feeling. And then when you think about that, like, oh, now I don't feel good. Now you have a thought about that. I hate that I never look good enough. And now you have a feeling about that thought. So it's this circle.
Yes.
Right. And so it's like, how do we get you off the hamster wheel and teach you how to catch that sooner and sooner and sooner. And again, that's like a muscle that you develop.
Yes.
And so physical, mental, emotional. This is one. And so I don't necessarily always go in order with these, but behavioral, like they all build on each other. So now if you think, your central nervous system is acting one way, you're thinking a certain way, you're feeling a certain way, that's going to have a direct impact on your behaviors. So the actions you take and the decisions that you make. So when you're describing, how you're making these, when you're thinking about making a decision of like, am I going to look for another job? Well, how do you know if that's an aligned action to be taking? How do you know if that's an empowered decision for you to make? Well, we can actually, like, I use this as a diagnostic and I get like this. So, you could sit here and take this picture and let it serve you in one way or another. But like, I created this because I know this stuff inside out. Like my high performance background, my human needs psychology, my human design, like all these different things, like each one of these bubbles, I have a friggin' degree in. This is also where communication, right? So it's like when you go into the fact that they're not seeing you as a leader, like when you own your leaderness, if that's a word, like you're like your absolute bossness inside of yourself to the point that it is undeniable. People can't help but see it. And whether it turns out that maybe the company can no longer ignore the fact that you must be promoted, or they know they're going to lose you, or it's that another company notices your power. Like powerful people we don't have to tell people we're powerful.
Yes.
People just know, right? Like Beyonce doesn't walk around like, look at me. I mean, well, she just gets looked at because she is Beyonce. If you
walked into the room, you would feel it. You wouldn't even have to turn. You would, like, her presence would already be calling your soul, type of thing. Yes, because there's another woman in the company, and she's higher up, but her demeanor is like, because I try to study her, like, and like as soon as she walks into the room, it's like respect. Everyone's going to respect her opinion, whatever she says, type of thing. So yes, I understand what you're saying.
Okay, good. So then there's relational. So we have physical, mental, emotional, behavioral, relational. And this is where like in between the behavioral and relational, like when we go between these, how you're making decisions, how you're taking action, And then when we get into the relational piece, it's really, how are you communicating? How are your boundaries? Because again, there's very key, sometimes subtle, and the more powerful a person becomes, the more subtle the nuances of our self-expression can be. And this is something I think that, again, like I have a whole Kaizen communication system that I teach people, where you get to learn the formulas, but it's no script. There is no script to life. But there's also very key things, like, for example, one of the things I'll give you right now is, like, for example, like that woman that you're studying, like, that's fantastic. I love to study other people, but at the end of the day, copying someone else will never work. And so how do you know how to take what works for her and apply it to you in a way that you're still you? And this is something I'm really passionate about, because I think it's, as much as I love the coaching industry, I've been part of it for 22 years. I have like a love-hate relationship with it, because anybody can call themselves a coach. And I believe that there's too many. Well, I'll just tell you that the stand I take is that it's great to have somebody show you what worked for them, which is what most of the industry does. But it's better to have somebody show you what will work for you. And that's what I do. So being able to help you set boundaries, and then the last one, which isn't really last because they all circle together and connect, is soulful. And that's where it's like, what's your energetic blueprint? And this is the type of thing where it's like, that your energetic blueprint is how we actually look at, there's a very clear strategy based on your gates and channels and chakras that we can look at to say, oh, this is your fastest path to success, is to make decisions this way, is to communicate this way, is to embody this. Oh, this is how you're designed. For example, like your not self theme comes up from this. And these words will
Shell, like sometimes she shares some of those little tests that you do with her. Like she's like, oh yeah, you and me are obligers. We're obligers. And I never knew I was an obliger until I started working with Shell. But now it's like, it's so apparent, because I'm always the one to turn, I'm always the one to turn in our monthly reports on time, my timesheet on time. Like, I'm always on time with everything, because I'm an obliger, and I didn't know that was just like a trait that I had. If somebody tells me to do something, I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna get done. So I think that's part of why I am a good worker, because to me, because that's my personality, to get it done.
Well, so yeah, I'm familiar with like probably every single personality test out there. I'm actually certified in a lot of them, but when I'm talking about your energetic blueprint, there's literally, it's a chart of that it's based on
Oh,
your
is that the
birth
one
time.
about where were you born, and the date, and what city, and
yeah, and it's the way I explain it to people. Like, I'm such a science-based person, which I know you are as well. And so as a science-based, like, research, like, I need the facts, ma'am. Like, I have to be able to prove this. To go into something more spiritual and like, okay, well, how do you explain the soul? How do you explain someone's, the energy of power? How do you explain that, so that I could learn it for myself? And then I definitely needed to understand it more deeply to be able to teach it to other people. And this is something that really served me. I think you maybe have heard me tell the story about my quantum physics teacher in college. I needed to graduate, and I asked to move the lab time. Do you remember this story at all? All right, I'll give you the really short version, because I think this will help you understand in a big way how it was my last semester. I had already taken everything. I needed this one class just to graduate. And I thought it was the most ridiculous thing that I needed a second level of physics. Cause I'm like, I'm not going to be an astronaut. Like, I'm just going to be like working with athletes, doing all this stuff. I don't need to know physics. Right. So this guy, I asked to move the lab time, when you were in college, or like when you say there's class and then lab. So I said, can I come to this class time, but take the lab that goes with a different class, just because I have to work. I was working 2 full-time jobs, so I was putting myself through school. And I'd done this I had a lot of science classes over the years, like multiple levels of chemistry and anatomy and physiology and kinesiology and all these things. So I had to do it a couple times. I tried not to, But when I had to, I asked, I was respectful. I did it ahead of time, so it wasn't midway through the session. He looked at me and he said, if you have to work while you're in college, maybe you don't belong here. This is literally my last semester in a 5-year super intense program. And I looked at him and I said, as politely as anyone has ever said, fuck you, consider it said, and I will pass your class with or without your help. So I had to get 100 on every single test because the lab was worth 30% of the grade. I had to study quantum physics. I had to know everything. And I'm like, this is ridiculous, but I was so angry. And I fueled that and I aced every test. So I got a D in the class. It messed up my 4.0 GPA. I've always been freakishly smart. I'm not sure how I have friends sometimes, but like the roundabout way is that when I started understanding energy fields and like, this isn't like an astrology, this isn't like a horoscope that I'm looking at. It's like your soul's blueprint and in energy and how you process energy and how other people's energy will affect you and how your energy will affect. And the fact that I would never have been able to understand it and respect it if I hadn't gone through all those quantum physics, because it's literally neutrinos. It's like the way, you know how like the moon moves and it affects the ocean, the tides, right? So after a while, I got over my science obsession. I was like, if all these forces they keep the planet spinning, how arrogant must I be to think that they have zero impact on me? And there's proven that like there's certain kind of stardust that's so small, I mean, it's around us all the time, but being born is a pretty big life event. And so the reason that we ask for your birth time and location is because we want to know what kind of stardust was passed through your body at that moment, because it has a big impact. So it's literally like, we are stardust, you are magic, we are magic. But anyway, using this to bring together like your unique. So we look at your soul, we look at how are you designed to live your highest potential and to absorb energy and give energy. We look at your body, like physical, mental, emotional, behavioral, relational, and soulful. We do all of this. And again, it's not like a checklist. Like, it's kind of like, I can already tell off the bat, like there would be a couple key areas where I'd be like, okay, let's start here. Let's dig deep. Let's give you some tools, because they're going to get you the fastest wins in your life. And then we can make sure that we're connecting all of them over time. On top of it, also straight up just marketing, getting to a place where you're really clear on your story. And I know you've done a lot of work with Shell on that. I think your voice, you always sound very on brand. I think you have found a sense of your voice. But I think there's a next level to that. And that's also something I'm really good at, is teaching you how to share your story in a way that draws people in and attract and
help me to articulate better, because
it's not even like a word choice. It's something, it's like there's some work to do on your energy, where it's like, once you tap into that level of power, and listen, there's nobody that walks around this planet and is like, I just feel I'm in my power all the time. I never have a bad day. I never cry. Nobody is like that. But the more powerful a person, I consider personal power to be when we get knocked out of alignment, when we get knocked off, how fast do we get back to our place of power? And that I can teach you. I can teach you how to get there, and then I can teach you how to fast track getting back there every time something happens. And that's not that I don't need to be hand holding you and like there for every single thing. At first, kind of, I would prefer to be. This is how I like to work with people, is I'm like, okay, let's go deep. And basically, like, I have you at my hip side. Like I said, like, you got your wings. Let's hold hands and we'll fly together. Like, I'll make sure, like that you're not doing it alone. But then eventually it's like, I'm very, very
you'll start
adamant.
Off of you. Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, I am not here to save you. I am here because you will do it better and faster with my help. But it's not like I like to work with people because they want me in their life, not because it's like, I need you, like in a bad way, like, I don't like to work with those people that are like, if I don't hear back from you, I can't send the email, or I can't do this. So it's like, I'm like, no, I am, do you feel that you're picking up what I'm putting down?
Yes.
So how does that resonate with you around like seeing that there's like 90% of the work I do with people is all about you. It's who you are. It's basically I teach people how to be themselves in in like an up leveled way, because I think, well, tell me, what's your vision for Empowered Femme, as well as like your job stuff
So,
and your personal life? Like,
yeah,
don't you have a
so
book
my
and
job is,
like,
that was my personal, but yes, but for the organization, my vision is to like be I want to be able to like speak at large conferences and speak at large events and be continue to be a role model for other like underprivileged girls, and I want to, so we'll be publishing a teen guide, hopefully by April. So I need to be able to present myself in social media and in places so that I can have that, not the report, but like so that I can be taken serious, I guess, and being able to help women, or so, and then from there, I do want to publish just like a quick like a 10 rules for powerful women, like a quick read type of book just for like adult women. But so my vision for Empower Femme is that I just like that I'm just like an example of empowering and breaking, and somebody that made it and broke through. Uh,
is it self-sufficient? Like, does it pay for itself? Do you have money coming in through that?
no.
Okay. So is that something you would want to create so that it's
so my income generator is going to be the sale of this teen guide.
okay? So I have definitely some ideas there to help you reframe.
Yeah. So right now I funded myself.
Okay, that's okay. Like everything starts somewhere, but I just want to know about where you want to take it. Like I like important to a point, but more important is where do you want to take it?
So
Because
I would want like other cities and other communities to create their own chapters and build their own like little empowering community of
and
women.
do you have like a system, like an Empowered Femme like curriculum or protocol that if I wanted to open a chapter here in Costa Rica, like what do I do at the meetings? Is there a process? Is there
So
a
that's
protocol?
so me and Sho are working on that part.
Awesome.
And we're also working on the teen guide. Like if you want to open up if so that teen guide is only going to be like for like Boys and Girls Club or like churches, youth group, where like girls can congregate. And so then that book is going to come with a guide for you to like be able to teach those principles to the girls.
Okay. So there's so many ways that you could benefit from approaching this like a business.
Yes, yes, I need your help with that too.
Yeah,
Yes,
because so that's something where it's like keynote speaking, like even if you got paid $1,000 per gig to start, like that $1,000 goes back into the company at this point, and it's like, okay, what does that do? Because if you imagine if you want chapters, there needs to be a CEO, there needs to be a CMO, there needs to be a CFO, like there needs to be money coming in to create this vision. So where's that money coming from? It might come from getting, keynote speakers get paid up to like $25,000 a speech. So it's like you could grow that area of you showing up and shining that place that you really want to, but then also delegating to other people and providing jobs for, maybe there's membership fees. Maybe there's so many ways that we can create the money to come in through the company or the corporation.
Yes, help me with that, because really it's just been me, myself, and I. And at first I did have like other ladies here in the community helping me, but like they get busy, they have and it's like, you know what, nobody's fucking dependable. And so,
well, because if they're not getting paid,
yeah, you're
people,
right, there's
like,
no incentive for like just volunteering. You're right, yes.
But here's the thing, is this is part of where I think how you share your story, and as we shift you really tapping into your next level of personal power, that's where people are like, what is this chick up to? I do want to volunteer, I do want to be part of this. You start exciting and enrolling people, not just inspiring people, but motivating them to action. And that is a big difference, because I think that's a shift that you would see from our work together, is that you'll go from inspiring people to motivating them to take action with you. And so that is where I think that that's like, you're standing here inspiring people, and it's like, no, let's move and let's get one of the most, I think one of the most key metrics of how powerful is someone is how many people can they move to action. Like, I know when I recommend something to someone, 99% of people I talk to are going to go buy it, because I almost never recommend something and I have a reputation for knowing what, and I connect people, and I have a little black book of people and resources and processes that I can be like, oh, you're ready for this person, or you need to meet so and so. And I can't like hold space for everybody, which is I know my energetic blueprint, and I know that the way that I am my most powerful, like I see straight deep into people, and I've learned I have to really get permission to do that, because otherwise it feels invasive and people don't like that. But it's like, you can't hide stuff from me. Like I just know everything kind of. And so, but I also see, I don't use that in a negative, like I'm like, I see so deep into your greatness and your potential. And so, you know, empowered femme, looking at getting really clear on that vision and looking at, well, how much would it cost to have maybe like a state, one chapter in each state? How many people do we need to run that? How many, what's the benefit? What's the protocol? What services and you know, are you going to provide if someone says, I want to open up a chapter? And it's not a paid position. In fact, it's probably, they're going to pay membership dues, or they're going to, you know, each person, maybe it's like, well, here's who we suggest. Here's how you get donors from your local community. Here's how you approach them. We have support, we have guides. So it's, you know, you could sell the teen guide, but that's not where your money is. It'd almost be better to probably give that away to raise awareness and create change. So that it's like, wow.
Okay.
So it's like, wow, if this ebook just changed my life, of course I can see the value of bringing it to the community. Because I mean, how much are you going to sell the book for, really? And to sell, like, you're going to make $1 or $2 off every one you sell. And so you have to sell a lot of books. And what's the next step after the book? You don't have a next step from what I can hear right now. So this is something I think I have a pretty good grasp of, like, and I don't have any, like, I'm not selling, like, I'm basically doubling down. I'm changing my entire business model, and it starts next month. So I have this like in between, and it's beautiful. Like, it's like everything timed out perfectly. Like, I wrapped up with 3 one-on-one clients last week, and it was like the most beautiful like celebrations, and like the video testimonials I got are so incredible. And like we were like let's have a glass of champagne together on Zoom, and like, oh my god, our year has been amazing. So anyway, it's like, it's a really beautiful thing. And it's like, not like, I love that when I end with clients, like, I'm like, okay, we got this chapter done, and if you're ever ready to do a chapter together again, and all of them are like, of course, like, I'm going to be back. Like, this has been incredible. So I'm very respectful of honoring when it's like, okay, we're complete for now. And I love that we can do that so lovingly. But I have a good sense of almost like a Zoraida way that I could support you, that I think would be, it would feel really good for me to offer it to you. Are you okay with me painting that picture? Okay.
Paint
so
the picture.
I think,
give I'm sure you can see right through me, girl. Like
yeah, but the thing is, I really want to highlight that, though, that's like, I see into you, and I am picking up so much. Like, I have all the information I need, and I'm like, oh, we can make magic. And that I'm not looking, there's no judgment from my, like, when I see stuff, I'm like, and you ready? You ready to go? Like, because I'm human too, and I've gone through my own process. So it's like, I have so much respect for the courage it takes to be willing to be your best self. I celebrate that 1000%. So I think, based on kind of like looking at the work or the challenge, so to speak, the process would be to, I think, really get a clear vision dialed in for empowered femme, and then also for your career, and you know, not necessarily, maybe it means looking at other jobs, maybe it means just being available, like not really working on the how, but looking at the end result you want to create. And I think overall with that, that would probably be like, I think we should do like a VIP day, almost like a kickoff. It's over Zoom, but like maybe spend 3 to 4 hours with each other of like, let's get this mapped out and so crystal clear that all the other work, you'll know why you're doing it.
Yes.
I think that's going to be an important thing to
because
start.
I think with both of those, I'm kind of like all over the place. Like my heart is in a good place, but I'm kind of like, you know, with Empowered Femme, I want to help everybody, but then I end up not helping anybody because I'm all over the place, you know?
Well, and if it's just you right now, it's like, well, you got to go speak. Oh, you got to write a book. Oh, you got to do the social media posts. Oh, you got to network. You got to do this. You got to do that. It's like, when you know what the big picture is, then it's like, what's the next best step? Take that one, then do this one, then do this one. So you can get really laser focused and create impact instead of just creating a buzz, right? Like we want there to be buzz, but we want more than a buzz. We want impact. So I think that would be the first place to start. And then looking at, once we have that picture painted, it's like, okay, now let's get into how Zoraida works. And I will do like obviously a human design assessment on, or analysis on you. You'll get reports on that so you can read about yourself. And it's scarily accurate. And then I'd really like to have you go through the energetic intelligence group program I'm doing, because that is like, the reason I'm doing that, it's a program. It's not just an online course, but there are things where I'm like, I say this all the time to everybody. I don't need to say it one-on-one and charge you for the, hour of me teaching this. Just watch the modules here. So there are some modules, but then there's also group Q&As if you want to come into those. So it gives you a little more access. But that information, I really want to look at. And maybe do like 2 private calls a month, where, so we can have that walkie-talkie access, where it's like the little things where it's like, Zoraida, on a scale of 1 to 10, how you doing with your power today? Okay, what happened? Bethany, this bitch at work, oh my God, it totally knocked me off. And I'm trying to say my mantras and affirmations, but what's like what do you got bigger and better than that? And I'm like, okay, here, this is how we do the real work. And then those one-on-one calls where it's like, we can really look at, like Voxer's kind of like for the check-ins and the little stuff. It's not full-on coaching, but it's like, oh, use this tool, or, oh, go check out this, or let me drop you a link here and this 10 minutes will teach you, try this. But those one-on-one calls, I think, really going deep into the resistance, because you're going to get an action and things are going to change, and you're going to be like, okay, this is like, you're so used to being afraid of the same things because you're stuck. So when you get an action, this is why I think those calls, like every 2 weeks, it's like, okay, my life is totally different. The business looks totally different. Everything's changed since 2 weeks ago, and helping you navigate that, as well as continuing to help you implement some of the things from a business perspective and a marketing perspective, because as you step into your power, it's going to shift. And it's like, I haven't seen your energetic blueprint yet. So but again, it's like, I can teach you how, like, oh, we're going to have you showing up on social media this way, because it's going to be the most magnetic to draw people into your cause. It might be totally different than how I show up. Well, and then, but also like give you the confidence of like, this is how we do that. So, and I'm really looking at, I think all together.
Look at it almost like you're my big sister with that. Like,
I love that. Yes. Yeah, because it's like, let's link arms. Like, I got you. Let's go. Like, but we're side by side.
Yes. I just want to do something, and now it's like this something. It has to have structure, and that's where you're going to help me. Yes.
Yes. So when I think about this, like this type of transformation, it really, like, to do the work of, like, I mean, looking at what you want to learn, how to navigate fear. You want to step into your power. You want to get out of your head and into actually being fully self-expressed. You want to handle that imposter syndrome and kick it out like a bad habit. Like looking at, like, rewiring those neural pathways. It's like, it's about being consistent. And it's usually like 66 days is like a minimum for that. So when I think about like all of those things, I think looking at like maybe 3 or 4 months together, right? With like 2 calls a month, plus the VIP day, plus the group program in there. And that's like 3 months anyway. So again, I'm just kind of making this up based on your thing. But if we think about like 4 months, maybe 5, but I think if we start with 4, and then if we want to do something like we'll both be at different places. What is that? March, April, May, June. So yeah, by Independence Day, you'll be free. How does that feel?
Yes.
Like, I like the sound of that.
Okay.
So yeah, and I think with Voxer support in between, like I know that that's something where it's like there will be weeks that we are talking every day, and then there will be weeks where it's like, hi, I'm alive, just wanted to let you know, see you on the call. Like it's okay, it's there for what you need. But when you think about that, does that feel?
I'm gonna do this 4-month commitment to myself because I owe it to myself, and it's time. It's time that I spread my wings and fly. Like I need to just be able to fly and just be looking down on all them people that were like, oh, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing. So like the view's gonna look a whole lot better from the sky. So yes, just take me there, Bethany. Do whatever you have to do. Work your plan. Rearrange your program. Give me the quote. Send it to my Hotmail. Girl, you got this. Yes. And then help me build up my organization to where like even Oprah wants to be a part of it. We are not playing ourselves small, Bethany. Just
no. It's basically in the next 4 months. Yes. I think in the next 4 months, like it's basically helping you become the empowered femme, like mascot, essentially. Like you have to become that leader.
Yes.
And then also like mapping out the business plan.
Yes.
Setting up. So it's like the personal thing, but then also teaching you how to regulate and navigate your power. I think that's a pretty tall order for 4 months, but I never encourage people to dream smaller. And that's to me, I'm like, yes, we can totally do that in 4 months. So what did I say? A VIP day. Let me just write down what I'm saying to you so that I put it together right. So if we do VIP day, 2 calls a month, we'll do the whole energetic intelligence blueprint program and Voxer support. Okay.
You're like for you only.
No, it's true. Like so because
you're like 4 payments of $25,000.
It's only $1 million. Does that work for you? No, and it's honestly like I could do like a VIP day. Usually it's 2,500. The private calls I usually start at 7,500. The whole program is 2,000 on its the recorded program on its own. Like I know those prices.
Package, the family discount, like I don't know, like.
Yeah, no, it's like honestly, like I know that looking at that's easily like $12,000 all stand on its own. But for me, like I feel like if you want to do 5,000 and just get everything and we just go, like I really want to help you. Like to me, it's the money exchange has to be there, but like.
Oh my God, Bethany, I'm not worthy.
Well, that's the last time you'll say that in front of me ever.
Do you really think like you can get me to the next level? Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Yes. Bueno,
I know I can get you there.
Okay.
This is something where it's like 5,000. I want to get to the point where like $5,000 for you to invest in becoming that next level leader is nothing for you, because you're not just doing this for yourself. I mean, yes, you are. And you're also doing it for all the people Empowered Femme is going to help. You're also doing it for everyone at the factory that is going to benefit from seeing another powerhouse woman in a leadership position. You're also doing it for your children to see, like, my mama doesn't let anybody get in her way. Like, this is so much bigger than you. And like, I have goosebumps. Like, this is also to the point, like 4 months from now, like let's get your first paid speaking gig at 5,000. Let's get this money back flowing through you. Like money just it's meant to be exchanged, like it's meant to be spent, but it's also meant to be received.
Yes, like I feel so bad charging for anything. Like I feel like, oh no, like I can't, like I don't know, like am I devaluing myself? But we'll get through all
We'll
that.
get into that too. That's
Yes.
gonna show up. That's gonna show
Yes.
up, I'm sure.
Yes. Okay. Bueno then. Sign me up and send me your Venmo, your Cash App, your PayPal, whatever it is, and then and oh my God, like let's just high five. We're gonna do this. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Virtual hug.
Oh, yes,
Virtual hug.
hug.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my
it's
God.
fine. So what I want to do is if you want to get your credit card, I can take it
Okay,
over
okay,
here.
okay. You're
And
like,
then
girl,
also
girl ain't messing around. She's we're
no,
closing
but also
right now.
yes, ma'am. Also,
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna email you an invoice. You're so cute. I'm gonna email you an invoice so you can pay it while we're on the phone. But then
Okay.
also, if you can get your calendar
Okay, what do
out,
I do?
because I want to book our VIP day as well, so we can get
Okay,
that
yes,
on the
I have my
calendar.
calendar. Yeah, okay, yeah. You're not messing around. Yes, I got my calendar right here.
Yeah, if we're doing this, we do this.
Okay,
Let's
okay.
see.
I like that. I like yes. Let's.
Okay. All right, customers.
You need to host like a retreat there in Costa Rica.
Oh my gosh, I miss hosting retreats. That's like one of my favorite things to do.
So we can all go. Like we cannot. Like you can have like a 3 or 4 day thing there. I saw that girl Gina V. She's kind of like an empowerment type of girl too.
I know her. I worked with her for a year.
She's doing that in Italy, and I'm like, girl, please. I'll wait for the one in Dubai. Like everybody's been to Italy. Like, come on, girl.
No, I worked with her for a year, so I've been to all of her stuff. I'm like certified. That's one of my certifications. I did that program with her years ago.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
Uh-oh. Add Zoraida Basil. Oh, I need your email, please.
ZORAIDA316 @
VIP custom package. Oh. Hold on, it's making me type it in again. Custom package.
Yes, no
Okay,
rush.
so I'll also send you an email, just kind of like with a highlight of like, here's the goals that we set for here's the intentions we set for the day. Here's what you get. My assistant will get you scheduled for like the 2 monthly calls. Like we'll try to get that on a system, but I want to get the VIP day in the calendar as well right now. So I'm going to send this.
So I go to my Hotmail and pay it.
Okay, I'm sending it to you now.
Yes, that way you can clean it. Yes. I put in the sink and then the tub. I put it in the tub to yes, that way you can clean it. Yes. Okay, here it is. Bethany
invoice, and then I'm going to pull up my calendar and we're going to pick a VIP day that works for both of us. So you let me know when the email comes through.
So I have the email. It's opening up. Pay this invoice.
Do you have, so time-wise, is weekends better for you for like a long chunk of time?
So when you say long chunk of time, how many hours?
Like a VIP day is usually anywhere from 3 to 5 hours. Like it just depends.
So
Like I block off, I like to start usually around 10 in the morning my time, and then we just go until we're done. So it's like 10 to 3.
okay, so I am off every other Friday.
Oh,
So
okay, good. Oh, let me give you, there's also 2 workshop days on Fridays that are
okay.
part of the group program that you're gonna get. So let me see if hopefully those match.
So I am off February 19, March 5, March 19.
Okay, so let's do March 5. Let's do that March 5th. So you can block out 10 a.m. Central. Are you Central time zone?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay, all right, good. So we're the same. Yeah, so 10 to 3 just block out. Like if we don't need all that time, we won't take it. Or if we end up, I like having that space because maybe it's something where we sometimes it's so customized. It's like sometimes it's like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna work on this part for you while you work on that part. So we'll do that for an hour and then we'll come back together. Or sometimes it's like we're talking the whole time. But I'm very hands-on, like
could we start at 9? Just because on Fridays, my Fridays that I'm off, I talk with Shell at 2.
okay, yeah, that works.
So
We'll definitely be done by 2. Like
from 9 to 2.
Yeah, I never do I very rarely do we take the whole 5 hours. So we'll definitely, like, you'll be done in time for sure, but we'll start at 9 so that you have.
Yes, because I'm an early person, and then that way I can have a break between talking to you and then talking to her.
Yep, that works.
Just like,
and then let me give you these dates. You can check and see if they work for you as well. When are they? Friday, April 9th and Friday, May 28th. I'm not sure if those are Fridays that you have off or not, but those are 11 to 4 p.m. workshop days.
April 9th and May what?
May 28th.
Okay, May 28th, I'm off.
Okay, so you can put that from 11 to 4 Eastern Standard Time. So what is that? That's 10 to 3. My usual workshop times.
Okay, and then that day I'll just tell Shell if we can move down from 3 to later or something. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean that's like weeks and weeks away. So
yes.
Oh no, amazing.
Girl, my calendar, I booked myself a year in advance. Like you don't, yeah, like this is like little Madonna right here. Like, okay. So my payment went through, I think so, because I didn't get a.
Let's see. It went through. Oh my God, I'm so excited for
I'm in the club. Yes, I'm feeling powerful already.
Yeah, girl. Like, swipe. Yes, I'm all in, and I'm so ready to fly with you. So I'll send you, like I said, I'll send you an email, kind of just following up. Like, here's our intentions. Welcome. Here's my Voxer link. Like, here's the ways to just start. Like, Voxer access starts now. So download the app and get me in touch there. I'll send you my link.
Okay, so from today until February, from today until March 5, what is my homework? What so that we can so that I'm not
gonna
wasting
send it to
time.
yeah. I'm gonna send it to you in an email.
Oh, you're gonna send me that in an email.
I'm gonna send it to you an email. So I'm gonna need like your human design form. There's a new client questionnaire.
Okay.
There's that.
Okay,
so I'm gonna send it to you.
Will be on there. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then really it's like I feel like our package for me usually starts on our first call. So it will be that VIP day is like, so it'll be 4 months from then. So it's kind of between now and then is just bonus, like,
Okay.
yay. But
Yeah.
like our official start is going to be on the first session, which is March 5th.
Okay.
And then the group program. So I'm going to send you all the details so you can reference. But like the group program starts March 1st. Like there will be modules that drop, and there's like I said, a client intake and a couple forms and more information from you. So there's plenty for you to do between now and then. And I am so excited. And this is going to be beautiful and magic and absolutely amazing.
Yes, yes.
Do you know how awesome your mommy is?
Mira, ven, mira. Okay, bueno, thank you so much, Bethany.
All right, well, we will talk soon. Okay.
Oh my God. It's gonna go up another house.
I love it.
Okay,
amazing. All right, have a great rest of your day. All right, bye-bye.